mind, and I have like, it basically helps me create intention for my day. By meditating where I am and having the mindset to just say, I'm clear, I'm focused, I'm good. It helps me just realize like, wow, this is the peak of where I could be, you know?
Yeah.
Having that clear mindset in the beginning of the day just helps me like notice where I start. It kind of sets a foundation for my day.
Right.
And so with my meditations in the morning, I also do affirmations as well. And so with me doing that,
what's up?
hi.
Are we
I was
making
worried.
color and lip tonight, honey?
Period. Red lip gang.
Yes.
Yes, the color of the day is red. So
It
yes.
is. It's so great to meet you. How you doing?
You too. I feel really good. I was watching some of your live in the beginning, and I was like, okay, just talk about me. All right, let me get in there. Then the connection started going wonky, so I was like, okay, let me just get in there now. But I'm doing really good.
Yeah.
Let's finish up some meditating and everything just to get ready for our interview. And yeah, just been kind of cruising all day.
I'm so excited. I took a look at your page and I was like, I cannot wait to speak to Yata Yomo. And you do go by Yata Yomo. Am I saying correctly?
Yes, and you are. I saw you were worried about it, but you are. You are, yes. Yata Yomo.
Yes. Okay.
High school is crazy. Wow.
Yes, I want to introduce myself before we get started. I am a singer, songwriter, organizer in the community influencer, and I love to do these Bliss Talks to pick people's brains because, you know, we have some leaders in the community, and so even though it's not like the big famous grand scale or whatever, you guys have a voice and you guys have a platform. And so it's nice to hear from those leaders in the community so we can learn to take our next steps.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Are you ready?
Ooh, cinco. That's one of my favorite numbers, kind of. You know, I'm into numerology too, so that's great.
Yes. So
I'm excited.
It's funny that you said that you just got done meditating because the very first question or concept or discussion that I want to have with you is about meditation, your meditation practice. I think that, you know, all of us at some point has tried to meditate, but we don't think that we're doing it right.
Right.
So
right.
I want you to dive in there a little bit and give us some examples, give us some tips and tricks on how to really get to that stillness.
Yes, that is amazing. Okay, as you can hear, I'm playing meditation music right now because it is such a big part of my daily routine. I'm so glad you asked me that. When I'm meditating, all that I like to do, first of all, let me talk about why meditation is important. Meditation is important because we need the calm in our minds. We need this awareness of where we are in every moment. I feel like it's really important to just understand that, okay, there are a lot of things happening around me, but I can still find an inner calm within myself, and I can still find the inner fire within myself. So most people might think that calmness might just be this like watery, flowy thing, but sometimes it's really about igniting the fire inside, right? So a few ways that you can get started meditating is by just finding a quiet space. Finding a quiet space, setting an ambiance for yourself, such as, you know, lighting some sage or lighting an incense, and having these tools with you so that you can create the ambiance in your space where it's like, okay, now I'm feeling calm because I can smell the calm, right? It's all about igniting your senses. So you've got the calm incense, you've got the calm sounds for the hearing, for the sight. I mean, your eyes are going to be closed, so it doesn't really matter. But if you want some calm colors around you, you can have like red. As we said, today's color is red.
Yes.
You know, so that calming, yes, it's that calming color, and it's also something that's like really grounding you. And so I've done studying with chakras as well, where the red actually is symbolic of the root chakra, which is your first chakra, which is for grounding. The orange chakra, which is your solar plexus, that's for having your confidence. Your sacral chakra, that's next, your yellow. That's for, courage. And then you have your heart chakra, which is for love. Then you have your throat chakra, which is for speaking confidently at that. Third eye, seeing beyond what is actually there, seeing the bigger picture of things before they even happen. They call that clairvoyance. And then you have your crown chakra, which is for just illumination and enlightenment and finding your spiritual center. And so with all those chakras being, recognized and everything like that, it's important to see how we can tap into those chakras. And so different meditations will show you all types of different ways that you can tap into all those things and find your life.
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment because you were saying that meditation is igniting your senses. And so I had this experience where I told myself I was going to meditate. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it right, but I said, this is what I'm going to do today. And played some, calming music. And I sat there for a couple of minutes, just as still as I could be. And then all of a sudden, it was quiet. And then I heard a noise. And instead of me moving, my ear moved by itself. So it moved on its own.
Absolutely.
I must be doing this right.
Absolutely.
My ear reacted to the sound.
Absolutely. That's like your body letting you know where you are in the practice. Letting you know that because you didn't move, that's your body just having its natural reactions. Because the senses will always be in tune while you're meditating. It's just about getting in tune with your inside. So that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Go you.
I want to talk about moments of clarity with you as well, because meditation is, from my understanding, is supposed to help you get to those moments of clarity or to that state of clarity, And so I want you to kind of talk about a time where you felt like you were at that frequency where you had that clarity.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful question. Moments of clarity. Early in the morning, early in the rising. I don't actually like to say morning, so I'll have to correct myself. Yata, do better. Okay. In the rising, I wake up, and that's my most clearest point because I've already let myself know I can let go of all that has happened yesterday and all the things. But I'll tell you about the actual moment. So I was waking up. It was 6 o'clock in the morning, so it was still dark outside, and I have these curtains, these red curtains that basically block out all the sun. If there is any light outside, it blocks it out. And so it was 6 a.m. and I woke up and I was just like, okay, I'm alive. That was the first step, realizing, okay, I'm alive. And then I went to my mirror and I just kind of saw myself. And I was just like, okay. Immediately my mind was like, okay, it's time to meditate. I was like, okay, cool, let's meditate. Sat down in my little meditation corner next to my altar, and I turned on the music, and I start listening to just the frequencies, the music going. And then there's this person that I like to listen to called Mooji, Mooji, on YouTube. And basically he's a spiritual guide that will show you more of yourself through his words. He shows you more of yourself in a different way than most meditations do, because they don't guide you through this physical. The other meditations will guide you through a physical reality, as Mooji will guide you through the reality inside of your mind, but also the reality that is all up here in the higher realm. And so listening to Mooji just gets me there every time. Mooji, they call him Mooji Baba, and Baba is a term for leader. And I noticed my friend Dev is here. Hi, Dev. Nice. So, but the spiritual leader that he is, it just really gets me to a point where I'm just I understand who I am. And that's not just saying me in this physical realm. He helps me understand who I am in the spiritual realm. Right. And so I think my first moment of clarity that I had was that same morning when I woke up and did the meditation with him. And I saw myself in my mind. I had this moment where I saw myself sitting where I was. It's kind of weird because it sounds it kind of sounds like a near-death experience, but it wasn't. It reality, it was just me seeing me from a different perspective, like in my third eye. And it really made me feel closer to myself. It made me feel, I also hope that made sense. I hope that I was able to like guide you through that visually so you can kind of see what it was. Good. So yeah, I just really felt beyond my physical self and more in my third eye self.
I wanted to ask you, that moment of clarity, how does that help finding those little moments? Because it's not a constant. You have to get to that place probably every single time. But how does that help you move forward throughout your day or be more productive or...
Okay, having those moments of clarity in the beginning of the day, they literally help guide me. And that's such a perfect question because that's so important. I really wanted to explain to myself and to other people. This week I told myself I would be explaining this so soon. And it's just so great that it just came to manifest. So, I'm getting ahead of myself. Wow. So, I'm so grateful for this moment. I just have to share my gratitude.
Yes.
Thank you. But basically, okay, ask me your question again because I got so far outside of my mind just now.
How does that clarity that you find each day in the mornings, how does that help you take your next steps throughout the day and be more productive?
Okay, got you. All right, so when I meditate in the mornings, in the risings, it helps me because I'm grounded in my mind, and I have it basically helps me create intention for my day. By meditating where I am and having the mindset to just say, I'm clear, I'm focused, I'm good. It helps me realize wow, this is the peak of where I could be, having that clear mindset in the beginning of the day just helps me notice where I start. It kind of sets a foundation for my day. Right. And so with my meditations in the morning, I also do affirmations as well. And so with me doing the affirmations, I'm saying I'm free. I'm saying I am love. I'm saying I'm grateful. I am, I'm peaceful. Saying all those things, having them said earlier in the day, gives me the foundation to know exactly what the rest of my day is going to look like. And so I'll catch myself, midday, just maybe stressing over something real slight. And all of a sudden in the back of my mind, there's something that comes from back here, comes to the forefront. It's just oh, right, I am free. Oh, right, I am confident. And then all of a sudden it's magic. That stress just goes away, And I don't want it to sound cliche or anything like that, but with this practice, it really does come to life. Your true self really does come to life.
That's so beautiful. And I'm actually going to do that tomorrow morning. I'm going to have those affirmations ready and find my activity. That's really cool.
Girl, you're going to make me share an affirmation playlist. I would do that.
We're on our third one now, and I'm loving these beautiful answers. Let's talk about the transition to your spirituality, because I know when we're younger, we grow up in our environments, and we are part of different communities, different backgrounds. So I want you to talk about what that transition looked like to you becoming more spiritual.
Okay. What did the transition look like for me becoming more spiritual?
Yeah.
I think it's really just started with singing. As crazy as that may sound, singing for me, and honestly, it just sounds crazy to me because it's real. It's my reality. My entire family sings. My mom sings, my dad sings, my sister sings, but likes to hide it, and I sing. That's 4 people in a household singing every single day, nonstop. Doesn't matter what song it is. One person starts singing it, you got the next 3. Your soprano, your alto, and your tenor behind you, right? And so hearing that every single day just really got me to this point. And mind you, they're gospel songs that they're singing. So hearing, there's the beautiful melodies and frequencies of gospel music just got me to a place where I was just like, okay, I'm singing every day. I have a purpose for singing. I know what I'm singing. Which transitioned to me, being in church. Being in church gave me this like religious background where I was able to understand an idea of God, and understand who I wanted to like believe in, and just it gave me foundation for my spiritual practice. And I think listening to my parents so often singing songs, like singing them on the pulpit, had me like in this realm where it's like, okay, well, my parents can be up there, they can do their thing, and they can talk about God all the time. I can talk about God too, I guess. I don't know if I want to yet, but okay. But nonetheless, it gave me a background. It gave me a foundation. And so, coming from church background and moving on to college and high school and just school grades, right, where I'm by myself and not with my family, and having to guide myself on my own in my community, with my friends, I got to a place where I really found independence. And no, independence was not easy. But noticing that I really wanted to have an understanding of who I am. I wanted to have an understanding of myself. And with that understanding, I found out who my truest self is. With the lack of family being around me all the time, being in college, being at A&T, Aggie Pride, I had to figure it out. I had to figure out how to find my own peace, because I didn't have the community that I grew up with in the space that I was in now. And so being an Aggie and being proud to be an Aggie and being in the community of loving people and different people and diversity all around me, but with the same skin tone, I had to get in where I fit in, okay? And getting in where I fit in looked like me going to the dance studio and learning how to meditate on my iPhone using the Headspace app, because I was too stressed out about final exams. And because I didn't know which direction I was going in anymore. Baby girl, I had to figure it out. It was a struggle. Bliss. It made me feel empowered to finally find a foundation for myself on my own. But I did not mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. This is your time to talk. But I do have, like, anytime somebody says something, I have these comments, like I'm just holding in the chamber. But I wanted to ask you, did anybody give you or teach you about meditation while you were going through that transition of moving away from your family?
Did anyone give me an idea of what meditation was?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really want to say no. There was one group who guided me a little bit in spirituality, but they didn't teach me meditation. No. I think that it was my own curiosity. Much love to you too, Dev. I think it was my own curiosity that got me interested in finding out more about myself. Because my main idea was finding out about peace. I needed to figure out, okay, what is this peace? Like, where is this peace? Where do I go to access this? I can't just be sitting in my room depressed,
Yeah.
And I do want to add, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, so it was more like you trying to find yourself and find clarity, find peace. And you were, meditation has always been a thing where it's just like, let me try this.
Absolutely. It's not always been a thing, but once I realized that it existed, yes. So you were basically asking me, where did I find out about meditation?
Yeah.
Right? And that's really, I would say, golly, like, it's so far ahead of me, I don't know. But I do remember the day I went to Goodwill and I found a book on meditation called Short Meditations. It was like I hate that title, but it was like the complete idiot's guide to meditation. And I was just like, I'm not an idiot, but I'm not an idiot. But this book, I'm gonna still read it though, okay? And so I found that book, and me and my best friend back in high school, she's still my best friend now, but back in Raleigh, she was interested in meditation too. And so we went through that book and read it, figured out that the brain is a computer, figured out how to program it, and figured out like, oh, okay, I can control my mind, I can control my life, and all these aspects of it, girl.
Oh, please share that book with me.
Oh, absolutely. I can find it for you. It is on Amazon right now. I don't have the copy of it anymore myself, so maybe I can go get one too when I send it to you. But yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Listen, I want to thank everyone that stuck around in here in this live, and I'm Yata Yomo, and we just got finished talking about her meditation practices. So if you guys didn't catch the whole thing of this Bliss Talk tonight, go back on my IG after we're done here, so you can hear about the tips that she gave us in the beginning of this conversation. Meditation practices. She also talked about moments of clarity, and in those moments, how did they help her be more productive throughout the day. We also talked about her transition to spirituality and learning how to meditate and figuring out her own peace, her own clarity, and coming to terms with her own energy as well. The next question that I have for you, Ms. Yama, I want to talk about managing emotions. I saw you had a post on your page, and it was talking. Research is my job, but
I love it.
We're talking about managing your emotions, and I'm a Cancer, so when I was a little girl, I was always like super awkward too, because it got people couldn't handle my emotions, and I couldn't even handle them. I was like, this is too much for me, so I know it's too much for you. And I'm an older Cancer now, so I've learned to control those emotions and use them as superpowers rather than something that hurts somebody else, or get into a depressive state or whatever negative connotation it is about emotions. I've actually decided to transfer that energy into a superpower. So I wanted you to give us some tips and tricks about how we should manage our emotions, and even why it's important to manage them.
It's important to manage emotions because they are our centers in this physical body. They are the compass for how we need to navigate in the world, based off of the fact that emotions really show us who we are in the moment. Emotions show us what part of us we need to work on. Emotions show us who we are working on being, because the things that we get angry about are clearly things we are passionate about, and the things that we are passionate about, we need to start moving towards those things. Very important to manage the emotions and to be aware of the emotions. A quote that I follow very often is the fact that emotions are the guide to healing ourselves.
Ooh.
Yes, ma'am. And I say that because, and whoever created it said it, because they are, like I just said, they're the compass. They're the compass for creating who we want to be. Because, like I said, emotions, they guide us. They show us what in the past is hurting us. They show us what in the present is what we need to work on in the present, and they show us in the future like what's up. So, a way to manage the emotions, is that what we asked?
Yeah.
A way to manage the emotions.
I think you kind of said that.
Okay.
It's the same too, because I think that the best way to manage emotions is understanding what emotions are, and with you putting it as that emotions are a guide, being aware of what each emotion means is a way. It's actually how you can manage it. If I'm angry, be aware that this is anger, because sometimes we'll be angry and don't even know that we're angry, aware that that's our emotion that we're having right now. So each and every time we enter into a different emotion, say, oh, I'm angry. Then figure out why you're angry. What's making you upset?
You're saying the right words. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Figure out why. And
figure out why you're angry. Figure out why you're feeling some type of way. And then, like you just said, something that's really important is labeling those emotions. Labeling the emotions, not just seeing them and kind of like pushing them to the side, which is something that happens very often in humans in general. We aren't taught to navigate our emotions healthfully. So we look at our emotions and we quickly try to discard them. And so it is very important to label the emotion first, and then maybe if you need to set it aside, knowledgeably and consciously set it aside so that you know it is something that you need to come back to later.
Absolutely. And that connects right where we were talking about. It was something that we were talking about. Oh, that's what I wanted to bring up. You know, when you moved away from your parents, you had to actually find yourself, and you had to get in tune with who Yata is.
Yata Yomo.
So you had to get in tune with your own energy, because I'm a Cancer. I pick up like energy like it's nothing. Like I can actually sit across from somebody and know exactly how they're feeling.
Cancers are really good at that. Yes.
Yeah, we absorb that energy. And so a lot of times I've been called stuck up one time because I'm really shy. And I'm really it's because I absorb energy. So when I walk into a room, I get overwhelmed by all of the energies that are in that room. So I have to stand off to the side. Likewise.
I'm that same way. I'm not a Cancer, but that still happens to me.
Yeah, I think we all have that within us, and I think mine is just. I don't know anybody else's experience, but for me, it becomes overwhelming. It gets to anxiety sometimes.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So like you said, managing those emotions kind of connects with that, knowing that that's the reason why I'm feeling this anxiety or awkwardness when I walk into a room, you know?
Know your first.
Yes. The discussion we are going to have tonight is about patience. I wanted to tap on that briefly. We're running out of time, but I do tap on
good.
Patience. I saw a couple of pictures and photos with you in the and it looks like there was trees. You were in nature. It made me think about a time where I had went out into nature with a partner of mine, and I am just trying to take it all in. You know, I'm trying to take it all in. It's not really my ideal environment to be out there.
Oh, she's like, bugs. No, get away from me.
No, I love the beauty of it all. It's just it hasn't been like an environment that I'm used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was out there for a little while, and I was like, I think I need to go. Are we good? I think we spent enough time out here. and that person was like, "You're ready to go." Like they were like,
"We just got here."
They were like, "I hate that I can't share this with you. I hate that you want to be out here." And I was like, "It's not that I don't want to be out here. I don't think he understood."
Yes.
I don't think he understood that it was. You had to be patient with me because it's not an experience that I'm used to. So maybe if we do it more often, I can be out here longer. But I took in as much as I could. You know,
you were good. Yeah. It's like I've got my dose. I think I'm ready. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that if we all are mindful about being patient with other people's experiences, then we can actually, be more tolerable of our loved ones. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I think patience they say it's a virtue, but I don't even personally, like, in this stage that I'm in right now, I don't really get that. Like, I don't get that phrase. So I've tried to come up with another phrase for myself. Like, patience is just practice, you know? Like, patience is practice. Patience takes, like, breathing. Patience takes observing. Patience takes mindfulness. Like, is a practice, like,
yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still working on it. Every day, like, I still have to be patient with myself. Like, here's a great example. With patience for myself, I practice on first. How do I do it? Like, there's moments where I'm getting anxious and I have to be like, yo, hey, dude, like, look at myself in the mirror and just go, hey, everything's okay. Because what I noticed that I try to do in public spaces is force myself to be okay. Like, hey, act normal. How's everybody doing? You know, like, no. And it gets uncomfortable for me. And so, yes, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations to grow. Kudos. But also, like, putting yourself in the situation that's going to benefit you the best. So giving yourself the moment to be like, okay, this was something I wasn't expecting, but I do know that this is something I can handle because I'm here. Right place, right time. Shameless. What they call it? Shameless tag.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug on my 222 energy. But 222 right place, right time. Shameless plug. But also just being patient with where you are when you are there, and understanding that every situation you are in is something that you can handle because the universe gave it to you for that reason. You can handle it. Being patient with the fact that, okay, I'm growing in a place where I'm not comfortable. Okay, well, I'm growing. Being patient with losing people. Just like the way I handle patience is I like pray and I meditate. And I do want to highlight something specific. I don't, just because we talked about this like earlier, like dealing with my background with Christianity and religion and everything like that. Public disclaimer, I don't necessarily, patience, girl, what just happened? The universe just sent me a whole situation, like,
oh no.
Hold on, don't worry.
Did a candle fall?
Yes, how did you know that?
Oh no.
I just put it out. Everything's fine. I'm not showing it to the camera. This is what happens.
Okay.
I can't show this to the camera. I won't more so. I know I can, but
oh no.
No, this is good. This is a good take. Hold on. This is the candle that just fell.
Oh wow.
It had some rosebuds in it and like lavender and stuff, which was safe at first, but it started getting like really, really close. It fell here, girl. It done burnt out. Hot take.
I am glad that you are okay and it didn't get out of hand.
Thank you. Water was on deck.
Yeah.
But everything's cool. So, yeah, being patient with self and just understanding that things happen for a reason, and understanding that even though everything happens, you're still in control. Patient with your growth. Ask the universe for help when you need it. You know what I mean? Who's this? What? Speaking of patience, breathe.
Breathe. So you were saying, you were giving us a disclaimer before we had that unfortunate incident with the candle.
Yeah. A disclaimer.
You were talking about your Christian roots.
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah. So, with me, like, being in the background of, like, Christianity and everything like that, when I was younger, I've learned that when I come to my truest self, I don't really identify with a specific religion. And so, in this space that I'm in right now, I realized that I really much more associate with spirituality and, like, finding myself within the realm of just higher consciousness. I feel a lot more comfortable when I identify my like vessel, myself, as a studier of higher consciousness.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. Before we close out this Bliss Talk episode, can you give us one or two keys or concepts that you want to share with people who would love to follow in your shoes?
Oh my God, yes. Affirm yourself. Affirm yourself. Affirm yourself. Affirm yourself. Love yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and identify what is so amazing about you.
I love that.
And shameless plug, I'm selling posters for these affirmations. So if you needed a reminder in your space, this is something that you could having your space that is affirmative, and it reads it to you before you even get the chance to start thinking about anything else when you wake up in the morning. These are posters that are meant to guide you and affirm your life. So you can find them on my Instagram in about a week.
Yata Yomo, this has been a beautiful conversation. I really appreciate you coming on Bliss Talk tonight. And those of you guys who are hanging out with us tonight, and you missed some of the episode, this will be in my IGTV. It will also be posted on YouTube. Make sure you guys go subscribe to the Bliss Talk YouTube channel, because I love having 30 minutes of your time, 30-minute inspiring conversations where I get to talk to leaders in the community. They have a lot of insight. Their backgrounds, when I speak with them, it gives me a lot of insight to work on something or be creative. It's very inspiring when I get to talk to these individuals, and these videos are available to everyone. If you go down to the YouTube channel, or you can go to my website, blisstalkshow.life. Before we close out tonight, if anybody has a question for Miss Yata Yomo, please type it in here. And while you guys are typing, Yata, can you tell us where we can go to support you? I know you talked about your posters, but give us all of your everything.
Absolutely. So I have Instagram, of course, instagram.com/HiMyata. I have a YouTube, youtube.com/Yata Yomo. I have a SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Yata-Yomo. And Facebook as well. You can just follow me on Facebook and keep up with what I'm posting. The best place to follow me is Instagram, most definitely, because that's where I post everything about everything.
So, yay, I don't see any questions here. What's up?
We got a new joiner.
We had other people joining. They're late. They're too late. We're feeling. Gotta go watch it on IGTV. But like I said, you guys do not want to miss this episode. What we talked about tonight was real meditation practices, moments of clarity, transitioning into the spirituality of it all, getting to know our own energy, our own self, managing our emotions, being patient. And we talked about patience, not so much being a virtue, but a practice.
Yes.
It was dope. And then you gave us the keys. You told us the affirmations, be affirmative. And you have your posters ready to go if somebody needs those affirmations to look at every day.
Yes.
Yes.
As of right now, I just saw somebody comment, where can they find the posters? You guys can personally DM me about posters as of right now. And in about a week, I will have a link in my bio for you all to purchase them.
Get it, girl.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
This was
so cool.
It was cool. And we got to keep in touch.
Absolutely. Everybody follow Bliss Talk. Everybody tune into her, see what she's about. And if you're a creator, a leader in the community, she might reach out.
Come on, somebody. Thank you for that.
Love to see you.
I will talk to you soon, hopefully, Yata. You have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Peace and love.